It's a rut. I got Jocko here, and one of the first things that we did was talk about shot angles on whitetails. And this isn't just about your shot angle for whether it's broadside, quartering away, quartering to. The same rule applies for elevated positions, whether you're lower in a blind or you're really high in a tree stand and you're shooting down from a ridge. There's a simple tool that you can make that can help you understand angles better. And that tool is a tennis ball, just like this. If you take an old tennis ball, put an arrow through it, then what you're going to do is you can imagine that this tennis ball is the heart, which would be right behind that front back line of the leg. So you can see the elbow right here. It's going to be sitting about right here. So what you can do is you can take this ball, and if you're thinking of angled shots, go ahead and set it in the front, right in that lower third where you could imagine the heart would be. And you can tip your arrow whether you're shooting from up here at 20 feet or whether you're shooting here. And it'll give you an idea, even if you were down low shooting up, you can see how this pivoting ball gives you an idea of where you would need to be so that you pass through that heart regardless of your elevation. Now, when it comes to the angle of the shot, what you could do is the same thing, take your ball and set it on the top, looking down at it. Again, this is going to represent the heart, which is going to be right behind this back edge of the leg. So if you put it in that position and you look down at it from the top, you can easily see where you would need to be depending on what type of quarter that you would make. So obviously here I'm turning. If I was a strong quartering two, you can see where this would need to enter in order to have the proper exit. Quartering two is not going to be my recommendation. Another thing that's critical for you to think about too is on all animals, that heart is going to be slightly behind that leg, right? But it's also between the two legs. Both legs are going down. It's going to be sitting in the middle. So the V of the legs is always a tell. If the legs are straight together, and let's say in this case, right there, you've got a quartering two shot slightly. If you always get in the habit of bringing your pin up from underneath the V, then you're going to know exactly where you need to be. Also, quartering away, think of where the V of the legs are. So if you have the V right here, bring your pin up from the V of the legs until you get to the height that you want, which would be in that lower third. But again, such an easy way for you to understand angles and elevation angles. Get a tennis ball, either set that arrow on the top and turn it and think of where you would be, which is where the fletchings would be right here. So you know where you need to enter. You can also see where that's going to exit. Easy to pivot that to understand angles. Turn it from the front. Imagine where it would be, and you can understand the same thing depending on elevation as well. Good luck, everybody. Hopefully you have success in the rut.